Mount Hekla is an active volcano even today. It has been erupting consecutively, erupting 4 times in the 20th century. It has had 5 big major eruptions over the past 7,000 years. The volcano has been erupting explosively, the tephra covering about 80% of Iceland. Hekla is the most active volcano in Iceland, and it has erupted one of the largest volumes of lava in the world over the past millennium.
The duration of the eruptions have been between 2 weeks to a whole year, a destruction ranging from little damage to lots. The eruptions are hard to predict, however, tourists still flock to the lava-spewing volcano to see the smaller eruptions. Hekla is a stratovolcano, also called a composite volcano. Its steep sides alternating from layers of pyroclastic flow, such as ash, and ones of lava. The whole ridge is about 40 kilometers long and about 2,491 miles high. The volcano has been quiet in the beginning of the recorded time, the fires of Hekla emerging in 1140. The people were terrified, but with time they learned more about the volcano and were less afraid about the monstrous landform.
Two naturalists climbed the volcano in 1750, proving to the world that nothing sinister happened. In fact, the summit of the volcano was quite pleasant, and people often hike up to see the fantastic views. Interestingly enough, the volcano is harming the livestock raised in Iceland. The tephra scattered all around Iceland could be high in fluoride, killing any animal who eats crops grown on the tephra. Still, much more is to be learned about the mysterious volcano.
In Iceland, tourism is very popular. One of the activities that people enjoy doing in Iceland is hiking to the top of Mount Hekla. At the top of Hekla, you are able to see the Jalabak Mountains all the way up to the Vantajoku Glacier, which is the biggest glacier in Europe, along with evidence of recent and long-lasting volcanic activity. In North Iceland, there are even more things to see. There are the waterfalls, and you can visit a 15-meter basalt stack found just off the shore of the Vatsnes Peninsula, or even Drangi Island, an island teeming with exotic birds like puffins. As Birgi Canyons, a monstrous horse-shaped rock located east of Husavik, is another place you can visit. You can find animals like nesting ravens, ptarmigans, Arctic foxes, and giraffes. In addition to these wonderful places, you can also visit a greenhouse. Because of the many volcanoes found in Iceland, there is an abundance of geothermal energy, which is used for greenhouses. You can visit the greenhouse in Hellisheidi if you wish to learn more about the geothermal energy and how it is used. Additionally, there is a great geyser and Strokfjord, Iceland's most famous geysers. These are just a few examples of the many tourism activities found in the volcanic region of Iceland.
Mount Hekla is known to shower Iceland with large quantities of ash and tephra. The most tephra was released during a single eruption covering 80% of Iceland was 1.2 cubic kilometers. To give perspective on how much that is, Hekla produced 8 cubic kilometers, which is one of the largest in the world, in the last. Iceland generally has two groups of soil, soils under vegetation and soils of the desert. Soils that are able to produce andic, which means they have andesite properties that make things grow, and histic, which is an organic material. Desert soil's foremost part is volcanic tephra, and is classified as vertisols. Million years. Vertisols have darker colors compared to the soils under vegetation and do not have much carbon. They are infertile and uncommon on a global scale. Vertisols have tephra layers and are found near active volcanoes, like Mount Hekla. In them, there are two tephra layers called basaltic, which is very common around volcanoes, and rhyolite. Rhyolitic tephra influences the soil's acidity and also weathers more slowly. Iceland grows a surprising amount of produce, considering how 78% of the land is infertile due to tundra and volcanic ash. Not much is naturally growing on Iceland at the moment, besides small forests of willow, birch, and mountain ash trees. The reason Iceland can grow plants is the fact that it has many greenhouses. The largest greenhouse is located in Hveragurgi, which is on the south coast of Iceland. In its controlled environment heated by geothermal energy from the volcanoes, almost anything can be grown, including vegetables, flowers, and even tropical fruit. Crops grown on Iceland are potatoes, fodder roots, turnips, oats, barley, carrots, cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, cauliflower, strawberries, bananas, blueberries, crowberries, and hay, which is the most important crop on Iceland due to its abundance of livestock. Sheep are definitely the most frequent livestock, but there are also cattle, chickens, and goats. In the wild, there are Arctic foxes, mink, mice, rats, rabbits, and reindeer.
Iceland has many myths and legends, many of them centered around Mount Hekla, an active volcano. Mount Hekla is usually associated with dark magics, the volcano supposedly being the entrance to the underworld. Christians thought that it was one of the entrances to purgatory, along with Mount Vesuvius and Brocken. There were rumors that witches went to the top of Mount Hekla to meet with the devil. People thought that the lava and other rocks thrown up from the volcano were spirits, hissing in their pain. The hissing was actually from the much cooler temperature of the outside air. Mount Hekla is surrounded with dark tales, but there are more lighthearted ones as well. There was a magician, and his plan was to take all of Iceland under his control. He transformed into a whale, swimming to the island. He was frightened when the island spat fire at him, convinced that the volcanoes were actually guards who would protect their land fiercely. Others thought that the lava flows and jagged land was the result of a war between the immortal gods, the battle shaping the land. The myths of the volcanoes in Iceland are usually centered around evil, though. For example, there is a legend about Mount Katla, where an overbearing witch had a shepherd working for her. She was a very powerful witch, all-seeing and possessing a pair of, quote, magic black panties. One day, the shepherd couldn't find all the sheep in time before sundown, and the witch was furious. She had demanded him find the lost sheep, or else. The poor shepherd was troubled, and he tossed and turned before landing on the greatest plan. He would wear the panties, and in no time find the sheep. The panties had magical properties, allowing the wearer to run very fast and not get tired. The man found the sheep, but alas, the witch had known that he used the panties. She had seen it all. The witch was wroth with the farmer, drowning him in a vat of wine. She then lived life as though nothing had happened. Time went on, and the witch feared that she would be found out, running away from town and burrowing into a crack into the ice. She went on until she found the Katla volcano's magma chamber. The volcano erupted soon after, and she has been living there ever since. Many other legends are centered around Iceland's monstrous volcanoes.
Thanks for watching!